Hi everyone, it's Elizabeth. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. If you're looking for art journaling, video journaling, sketchbook journals, travel journals, all of that kind of good stuff, you can see lots of those videos in my channel. And don't fear, there will be one coming out again this Friday in my usual Friday Flip series. This video is about all things books, so if you're interested in that, keep watching, please. Last week, I did the first TBR Tuesday, which talked about the physical books in my stash that I plan on reading in the short term, all library books. I will leave a link up in the cards as well as down below. Today, I want to talk about really quickly the books I have that are either audiobook or ebooks that I will be reading in the relatively short term. I tend to read in all variety of formats, and we'll talk more about that as this series progresses. So I want to quickly go through the books that I have in the list today. First, I'm doing a December with Dickens, or Dickens in December project that I read every year. This is my 6th year of reading a Dickens in December. And this year I'm reading Little Dorrit by Charles Dickens. The audiobook is narrated by Simon Vance, who is fantastic. Dickens is brilliant, and I'll talk more about this book when I do my recent read wrap-up, so stay tuned for that. The other book that I have been reading on and off all year is called Tribe of Mentors by Tim Ferriss. It's a short life advice from the best in the world. This is a perfect book to dip in and out of. It's essentially interviews with a variety of people. It's about 500 pages, and I've been slowly making my way through it. I'm in no rush to finish this one. I will probably carry it on into 2021. I'll finish it when I get to it. I am participating in a read-along with Sarah from Hardcover Hearts. I will leave a link to her YouTube channel down below. And we are reading the seasonal Quartet by Ali Smith over the course of December through March. So we just wrapped up autumn, and there will be a review of that book in my recent reads coming up. But what I know for sure is we're going to start winter next week. So I have this both in ebook and audiobook format, and I will probably alternate between one and the other. The physical library book club that I have, that's all Zoom at the moment, is reading The Widow's War. The only thing I know about this one is the first book in a trilogy, and it's historical fiction based in Cape Cod. And I believe that the main character is a whaler's wife. So this is by Sally Gunning. I know I'll be starting this book as an ebook this week. I read the first book, Good Girl, Bad Girl, by, I think it's Michael Robotham, last year or the year before last when it first came out on audio. It was excellent. So this is the sequel to that one, When She Was Good, and I plan on picking this up in audio format. Now, I read sci-fi fiction, I read fantasy, I read literary fiction, I read all kinds of genres. And one of the things I want to get to is Dune. It's been on my list forever, this classic sci-fi fantasy story. There's a new movie adaptation coming out, and I want to read at least the first book before I see the adaptation. So I have this, again, both in ebook and audiobook format. Chances are I'll probably listen to the audiobook, but I tend to get both just because I'm never quite sure if the audiobook narrator is going to work for me. So chances are I will do this on audio, but this is kind of coming up next in terms of a big chunk book that I'm going to be listening to. Bernardine Evaristo's Girl, Woman, Other. This book has got a whole bunch of hype around it. It was the co-winner last year for one of the prizes with Margaret Atwood. I'm trying to think, is it the Booker? One of those awards. And I've only read one other book by this author. It was called Mr. Loverman, and I listened to that on audio. I highly recommend that one. Mr. Loverman was probably the top book I read, my favorite book of the year when I read it in whatever year that was. And so Girl, Woman, Other has been on my list. I just keep getting distracted by other shiny things. But again, I have this both in ebook and audio. I'm going to do the audio just based on Mr. Loverman. If it doesn't work, I'll come back to the ebook. But this is one I'm really looking forward to getting to. And as part of my nonfiction, I have a whole bunch of nonfiction books as well on the list. So I have Sam Harris, his book, Waking Up, A Guide to Spirituality Without Religion. He's a person who I listen to on podcasts. He's got a great podcast. And this book has been on my list forever. It's not a new one, but I just wanted to get, it's a really short book as well. And again, I have it on audio as well as ebook. And I think I'll be listening to this one. And the book that got all the hype last year, Britt Brennett's The Vanishing Half. This is her second book. I read her debut novel, The Mothers, I think it was last summer. I liked it. I didn't love it. And so I'm hoping that this particular one is going to work better for me. Again, I think I'm going to be listening to this one on audio. It's a story about two sisters who can pass as white and just what happens in their lives as we go forward. So those are the books that I have on the short-term list. Now, don't get me wrong. I have tons of books that, if as all readers, we have lots of these in our stash. All of mine tend to come from the library. I don't tend to buy my books, so they're all library books. So I do have certain time frames I have to get some of these done, or else get back on the whole list for those. So that's what I have for you today. Stay tuned for a current reads video that I'll be doing. What I'm planning on doing is about every 4 or 5 books that I finish, I'll do a quick wrap up of them. You can always find me on Goodreads. There's a link to my account down below. Let me know if you read any of these, if you would prioritize one over the other, if there's something you liked or did not like about any of them. I'd love to chat with you in the comments down below. Thanks again. Happy New Year. Bye.